Relax. It's ASMR. Hello, everyone. Well, I'm going to return to doing something I haven't done in a long time, and that is making slime. I was doing this on my channel back in 2014, I believe. I looked up the recipe for making slime and also put little styrofoam balls in it. Back then I had to hunt down the recipe, find the ingredients, test it out, make sure it would work with all the different proportions. But nowadays I can just go to the store and buy a kit to make slime. And there's thousands of them, it seems. But these caught my eye because they say Fizzy gloop. And the little thing on the box says, turn fizzy reactions into slimy goop. And I thought that would be particularly awesome for a video, combining both fizzy sounds and slime. So I bought two of them. One appeals to the kid that was raised in the 80s, holographic, and the other one is supernova, so some sort of swirly blue and purple. So also really think this is really well done graphically, that it doesn't try to imitate exactly the holographic look, but it does a really good job of it doing it with just these little white striped lines and then these different blobs of color behind it. That's really, really well done. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one so that we can see how it works. And I don't think it's going to be that complicated. And then we'll move on and do the other one. Okay? Okay, so let's see what we get in our box here. Looks like it opens from the side. Just cut the tape here. Pretty simple. It's not super heavy, so there's probably not a whole lot in here. Let's see. What's all in one big bag? Which is stuck. It's like glued to the inside of the box. I've never seen that before. Interesting. Okay. And there's no real instructions. It just says includes everything needed. Yep, that's about it. Made by Horizon Group USA. Made in China, designed in the USA. Colors and content may vary. Okay. So, a really big box for a medium-sized bag of stuff. pretty easy to open bag here. Okay, so let's see what we got. We have Fizzy Gloop solution, which looks suspiciously like glue. And the container, I think, kind of gives it away. We have Fizzy Gloop Mix. That's all it says. Not a food, do not eat. Eye and skin irritant. Avoid contact with eyes and skin directly. Not to be used by children without adult supervision. Oh, we have a little package of holographic stars. They're shining different colors as the light hits them. That's a lot of them. Here we have just a package without a label. It's kind of clumped together. Break it up a little bit here. Make sure it stays a powder. There we go. It's a big chunk of it right there. Okay. Well, that looks better. It looks more like a powder, doesn't it? And then this is just baking soda. It kind of has the same kind of general consistency, but it feels a little different. Just by a bit. It's a little bit more, I don't know, feels squeakier under my fingers, if that makes any sense. We have a stick for mixing and a spoon for measuring. And a funny little beaker. It has measurement numbers here and fizzy goopy stuff coming out over the side. Excuse me. Stay down. Follow these 4 rules. Be careful not to splash any solution in your eyes. Wash hands thoroughly after each use. Be sure to cover your work area, as making fizzy gloop can be messy. Well, that's why I have this plate here, so hopefully that'll be fine. Step 1. Measure out 100 milliliters of warm water and pour it into the paper or plastic cup. So we do not have everything that we need. We need water. I was suspicious of that. I'll go get that in a little bit. Use the spoon provided to add 1 level spoonful of sodium tetraborate to the warm water and stir until the powder dissolves. This will be your activator. Okay. Next, combine 10 milliliters of room temperature water with 2 spoonfuls of your activator and 1 spoonful of the fizzy gloop mixture. Then set them aside in another cup. This will be your fizzy gloop activator. Once you have transferred your fizzy gloop activator to another cup, hand wash the beaker carefully, as any residue can affect the results of your reaction. Use your mixing stick to make another level spoonful. To make level spoonfuls. Okay, that's a tip for step 2. Okay. Step 3. In your beaker, add 40 milliliters of your Fizzy Gloop solution with half a spoonful of baking soda. Place your beaker in the middle of a ceramic or plastic plate, as the next step will be messy. Pour the glitter stars into the beaker, and slowly add the Fizzy Gloop activator to the Fizzy Gloop solution mixture in your beaker and stir until it reaches halfway up the beaker. Your reaction will start to fizz. Wait until this reaction stops bubbling, then use the spoon to scoop out all of the Fizzy Gloop and put it back in your beaker. Stir until it becomes slimy goop. If you're not afraid of getting a little messy, use your hands to mix and play with the Fizzy Goop and turn it into slime faster. The fizzing solution will look watery at first, don't worry. Keep playing with it and it will thicken up. If your slime is not becoming solid, remix the solution from step 1, making sure the water is not too hot, as the powder will deactivate. If it doesn't dissolve, the water is too cold. If your slime is too hard, add a drop of vinegar and work it in. This will soften your slime. If you use too much Fizzy Gloop powder, the solution will fizz, but it won't become slime, so be sure to carefully measure. If you add too much baking soda, your slime will be too hard. If your solution is not turning into slime, add more of the activator 1 drop at a time, mixing between each drop. Add it until you reach your desired slimy goop consistency. Be sure to hand wash your beaker with soap and water when finished. Storage for optimal use. Once you're done playing with your Fizzy Gloop, store it in a sealed bag or container. If you leave your creation out, it will dry faster. Okay, so I'm glad I read all of these instructions. So we need some room temperature water and we need some warm water. 100 milliliters and 10 milliliters. So I can use this as a measurement. Okay, 100 milliliters of warm water and pour it into a paper or plastic cup. So I also need a paper or plastic cup. Okay, I am assuming that this is the sodium tetraborate that I add to the warm water, because they also refer to the Fizzy Gloop mix, and then they also refer to the baking soda. So this goes with the warm water, and this goes with the room temperature water. And this goes with my solution. Okay. Doesn't sound too bad. Okay. I will be back with the ingredients that I need. Okay, so now we have 2 cups of water over here off camera. I have 1 cup here and another cup, because I think I'm going to reserve this as a measuring cup since it has the markings on the side, and that way I won't have to wash this out. So 1 cup is going to hold 1 solution, and the other cup is going to be the one that I actually make the fizzy mixture in. If it fizzes up, it'll fill the cup up maybe, but hopefully it won't run all over the place. But still give us nice fizzy sounds. But this is the first one, so this is the experiment. Okay. Measure out 100 milliliters of warm water into a plastic cup. Now this goes up to 80 90. So almost filling this up should be 100 milliliters. Here is my warm water. We're going to fill it up. I think to about right there should be good. Looking here on the side. 90, 100. That should be perfect. So now we pour that into here. And now we measure out a level teaspoon of our mystery ingredient in this bag. So I'm going to cut a little bit off of this. Use the spoon provided to add 1 level spoonful of sodium tetraborate. So I'm going to carefully, this is kind of white on white, so I don't know if you can see this very well. Kind of use the bag with just a little more. Okay. Okay. That seems to be a level spoonful. And stir until it dissolves. Okay, I think that's pretty dissolved. Now I'm going to wipe the spoon off thoroughly, just in case it wants to react with something later on. Okay. So we're going to set this aside. This is one of our activators. And we'll set that aside as well. Now, combine 10 milliliters of room temperature water. And I carefully made sure this was room temperature using my finger. But not very much of it. 10 milliliters. That's too much. Set it down on the side. Okay, that's 20. Almost. Well, okay. That is pretty much 10 milliliters. Just a little bit more poured out. Perfect. Okay. With 2 spoonfuls of your activator and 1 spoonful of the Fizzy Gloop mixture, Set them aside in another cup. Okay. This will be your Fizzy Gloop activator. Okay, so we're adding different activators. This is all very confusing. Okay. Cut the corner off of this. Making sure we don't get it in our eyeball. So this gets 2 making sure that I have room. Okay. So we're going to have to wash this out anyway. So 2. I should have brought a 3rd cup. Okay. Who knew it would be so much? Okay. Oops. 2 spoonfuls of your activator. Now, 1 spoonful of the Fizzy Gloop mixture. Okay. So 1 of that. Wipe that off. And then 2 spoonfuls of the thing we just made. One, 2, and a little bit. One of those wasn't, I don't think was quite full. Okay. Stir this together. So we are diluting down that first activator a little bit. And I don't know if you can tell, this is kind of a milky substance. So it's kind of hard to tell if it's all mixed up or not. Plus there's a ridge at the bottom of this cup, I think. Okay. So now we transfer this to another cup. And set it aside. And then we wash this. Yeah, there's still some up in here. Get out. I think it's wanting to form slime already. So I will be back in just a little bit. Okay, so now we have our beaker. We have another cup that I brought. We have the solution that we mixed up, which it doesn't seem to be dissolving. It just seems to be suspended in the water. So we're going to make sure that we stir it, agitate it pretty well before we mix it in. Okay. So here is our Fizzy Gloop solution, otherwise known as glue. And it says to add baking soda. So let's cut a corner off of this. It says half of a teaspoon. In your beaker, mix 40 milliliters of your Fizzy Gloop solution with a half a a spoonful of baking soda. So just a half, not a whole lot. I can get it to come out. There we go. Does that look to be about a half? I think that's good. Now, it doesn't say to stir it, but I imagine that we're going to have to. Okay. 40 milliliters. It's very blue. It's going to take a while. Let's do this. Just pour it like this. Bloop. 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 Okay. I think it's going to be most of this bottle. Yeah, it says it's 70 milliliters, so this is really a one-time thing. Put a little bit more in. Let it settle down and find its level. And we'll see if we need to add any more in. Agitate it a bit. I think we're probably going to have to add a little bit more. This is pretty thick stuff. I can at least fill in these little places. Because I think we probably have about 30 milliliters in here now, if it all settled down. It's definitely thicker than regular glue. Okay. I'm trying to estimate in my head here as I look at it. Just a little more, I think should do it. So now we add in our baking soda. And this will also help level it out a bit. So I'm assuming it's supposed to be mixed in and not just sitting on top, but maybe. We'll see. So it seems to be foaming up a little bit already. I haven't even added anything in yet. So let's go ahead and add in our mixture. It's doing something. We've got a reaction, making sure it gets all the way down in here to the bottom. I was hoping you'd be able to hear it fizz, but I don't think you're going to. It is growing though, slowly. Drop by drop. This is kind of interesting. It's not as volatile as I thought it would be. But it's still pretty neat. I can see some of it's still stuck to the sides here. Let me get down in here and scrape it all off. Now it's running over the side a little bit. So it's not super runny. It's a little viscous. I was, like I said, hoping for more of a fizzy sound. I thought that would be a nice ASMR treat. But so now it asks us to wait until the solution stops bubbling, then use a spoon to scoop it all up and put it back in your beaker, and keeps stirring it until it becomes slime. So I guess as the bubbles pop, it becomes regular slime. It is a pretty color blue, although there's no red streaks in it. I think the box showed let me wipe my hands off here. The box showed kind of purple, blue, sorrel. We're getting just plain blue, but a nice blue. Oh, we didn't add our stars. That's okay. Should we sprinkle some stars in? Why not? Where's our stars? One last ingredient to go. Okay, some of those things aren't stars. They just look like extruded stars. They didn't get chopped up. Interesting. Okay, we'll mix our stars in. Give it some glamour and drama. So now, it didn't give any kind of time frame as far as when it will become slime. It is getting a darker blue. It is still really foamy. It says if you use too much Fizzy Gloop powder, these terms, that's the baking soda, it will fizz but won't become slime. If you add too much baking soda, it will be too hard. Well, it's definitely not too hard. But I don't know when it stops fizzing and starts to settle down into its final form. It may be getting a little thicker. I think we've lost the stars completely. Since we don't really have enough glue to do this again, let's make sure we have plenty of stars. They may all be sinking to the bottom. Okay, well, it's definitely getting thicker. I wouldn't consider it to be slime yet. It's not reacting as a mass. If it was slime, I should be able to pull most of this out with my spoon. So I'm going to let this set for a little while and then come back and we can see what it looks like after maybe like 10 or 15 minutes, okay? Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. Let's see what we have here. It's kind of the same consistency. Really hasn't turned into slime. Yeah, it's just a foamy mess. Well, let's see if it gives us if your solution is not turning into slime, add more activator 1 drop at a time, mixing between each drop until you get the desired consistency. Well, I washed out all my cups already. I wonder if we can just add the powder in straight. Can't hurt, right? It is maintaining the foam quite nicely. Because the sodium tetraborate is just basically borax, which is the same solution I used when I made my batches of slime. Put in a little more and see what that does. Seems like it's going down a little bit. It's not as fizzy. Trying to hold this in place. So this that spilled off the side is kind of slimy. Although it's kind of almost too hard. I'm going to get another paper towel here. Because I'm pretty sure that the Fizzy Gloop mix and the baking soda combination is what makes the fizzing. It is the glue and the borax that make the slime, I think. I guess we could also add more of this. Oop. Doesn't look like it's doing much, does it? Well, we'll put a whole bunch in then. See what that gives us. I'm starting to see the stars come back up. That seems to be a hunk. Somehow that got more concentrated version of the slime. Well, that's why I bought 2 boxes. So I think I will call this video a fail on the slime part, but hopefully a success on the ASMR part. So I'm going to save the other one for later. And if you have ever worked with this stuff or know what I did wrong, leave it in the comments. It wants to be slime so badly. Like when it gets on the sides here. Okay. We're just going to dump some more of this in. Because the only thing we can do now is completely ruin it. Okay, I think the powder is causing the blobs wherever it reacts, and then it's not really mixing, which is probably why you mix the powder with the water first, so you get a better. Okay, we've got some thickness going on here. I think that was our problem. We didn't use enough of the borax. And now we've got like a hybrid mixture of solid slime and fizzy slime. Now we're getting somewhere. And we may be able to save this yet. Okay. I think we have something that could be considered slime. What do you guys think? It's not very pretty. It's very stringy. Very stringy. See if I can get the rest of this out of here. Okay. Well, it feels wet and very lumpy, but it doesn't stick tremendously to your fingers. Too bad. It's easy to get back off. I think if I just massage this around a little bit more. And there's little lumps in here from where the borax has reacted. And the stars are sharp. Ouch. And it tears more than it stretches, so it's a little stiffer now than it should be. But for our first attempt with this type of concoction, I think we've learned, because now it's just a solid. It's set up so hard that it's just tearing into pieces. So we have learned. So based on this, I will be creating another video soon with the holographic slime, which is the one I'm really interested in anyway. That's really tough. But it's fun to play with, that's for sure. I'm glad this isn't green or something. I think blue is a nice palatable color for slime, because it doesn't remind you of anything other than itself. Okay, I think that's pretty much all I'm going to get out of here. Maybe a little more. Okay. Okay, well, we went from one extreme to the other. Probably should have been a little bit more patient. So, well, thank you for watching and putting up with this experiment. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on this video and a comment and let me know what I should have done better for the next set. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And that way you'll be able to tell when I do the next one. Okay? Well, thank you guys for watching. And I'm going to go clean my hands and throw this stuff away. But at least it's not too super messy. Bye.